So for the top bulb, it's showing 3 volts, so I'll put that in the voltage column. For the resistor, it's showing 10 ohms, so I put that in the resistance column. And for the bottom bulb, it's showing 1.2 amps, which goes in the current column. And it also shows 5 ohms, which goes in the resistance column. So that's how you start, just by filling in the values that you're given. And now I'm going to use that tip at the top of the page for the very last row. For the bottom bulb, I know 2 of my values, so I should be able to find my third value. So I'll say bottom voltage. I'll show my steps here. So the Ohm's law formula is current equals voltage divided by resistance. Filling in some numbers, 1.2 amps has to equal to something divided by 5. So something divided by 5 has to equal to 1.2. And now there's decimals involved, so it may not, mental math might not be as simple here. So what you can do is figure out the voltage by actually multiplying 1.2 times 5. That's an algebra skill, just rearranging an equation. You can pull out a calculator and get 1.2 times 5. That turns out to be 6. So 6 volts is my answer for the bottom bulb. Okay, something else I can do, which is something that's nice about a series circuit, is the current. I know the current going through the light bulb. Current is how fast the charges are moving. And the current law is that the current splits up at junctions, but in a series circuit, there are no junctions for it to split up at. So this 1.2 amps is going the same speed the entire circuit. The entire circuit is going to be 1.2 amps. The amps are always the same number in a series circuit. So this will allow me to use my tip in blue again to calculate some missing values in a couple of those rows. I'll start with the resistor row. And I'll find the voltage of the resistor using the exact same method as I found the other voltage, using the Ohm's law equation. This time for the resistor, the current is 1.2 amps. So 1.2 has to equal something divided by 10. Something divided by 10 has to equal 1.2. This one, if you're good with multiplying and dividing by 10 in decimals, you'll realize that the answer has to be 12. 12 divided by 10 equals to 1.2. So that's what I'll fill in for the voltage of the resistor. I'm going to go for the resistance of the top bulb now. So here's my formula for Ohm's law. And for the top bulb, I know the voltage is 3 volts, and I know the current is 1.2 amps. So this time we have to do things a little differently because my unknown variable is in the denominator. So 3 divided by something has to equal to 1.2. 3 divided by something equals to 1.2. The way you can calculate that is to actually do 3 divided by 1.2. Again, that's a mathematical skill called rearranging an equation. It's algebra. And that can be always how you get resistance. So what is 3 divided by 1.2? You can pull that in the calculator. And that gets 2.5 ohms. So that can be filled in. Okay, so my table is almost complete. I just have one thing left to get. That's the voltage for the battery. The voltage for the battery. Now this is a series circuit. I have calculated all the voltages for the loads. So basically the voltage of the battery has to provide enough volts to be able to split up into those three loads. So it's going to be 3 plus 12 plus 6. That's going to be 21 volts for the voltage of the battery. That's part of the voltage law. So that completes that table, and that solves this circuit.